Welcome to the first roundtable. This is really the mindset roundtable, and it's something relatively different that you're used to. It's not going to be much of a tactical component when it comes to weight loss and keeping the weight off, but it's going to be it's like a supplements for your brain. It's really to hopefully get to see stuff that you don't see in yourself, and hopefully it's going to help a lot of people out. And this is really about the invisible forces that as people, we're not able to see all the time. Like there are stuff, barriers, imaginal barriers that are stopping us from seeing results. And most of the time, you don't get to see. And if you don't see that, you cannot build a pyramid of success, like I like to call it. It's like a set of things that should happen that never get to happen. And obviously, I really want to use an analogy, and I really feel like I love animals, right? And first, I think that we can learn a lot from them. And, I want to share something that here that we can learn from them. And this is basically how most people live life. It's like, you see, it's like a lion, right? You watch opportunity after opportunity, and you're always saying, I'm going to take the next one. I'm getting ready to take the next one. I'm going to go. This is, but no, I'm going to start tomorrow. I'm going to start on Monday. And then Monday comes like, oh, no, I'm getting tired now. I'm like this is not right time. I should wait. I should do it after. I should yeah. And it's like opportunity after opportunity and after opportunity, and you never take that opportunity. And then you look back and you wish like I would have taken, right? And I'm ready to take the opportunity now. And usually there is always like somebody else that come and take this opportunity. And this is basically this lion. And I feel like that's so appropriate in general, because like on a nutshell, this is how life works for many people. Let me just stop this thing out now for a second, but this is how life works for most people. And it's like, I want to start something, I want to do something, and I feel like, and this is an opportunity, and every time you get ended so many opportunities just to say yourself, I'm not gonna do it. This is not right. This is not the moment. This is like, I should do it, but I should do it another day. And I want to ask yourself that you saw this right now. Who feels like is the lion that goes for the prey? Who feels like that? If you feel, you cannot raise your hand. Most of the time in your life. Good. There are some of in my book, most of you here are getting there, like are at least getting there, because like most of you have pulled the triggers towards your health, right? But in reality, it's like, we all most of the time don't feel like they're that type of lion. You always feel like I was for years the one that is stopping and waiting and looking and thinking, oh, I should do it later. And like one time, like 6 years ago or so, I decided not to be that person anymore. I said, I'd rather take the risk of doing something that it doesn't feel right than to be one day and say, I feel like I don't, I cannot get there anymore because it's too late now, right? And obviously we'll see today that it's never too late, but there is always this risk. And this is a question. And, one of the things that we don't do these things, usually we don't take risk, is because we're always fearful. Like there is real fear involved, or there is fear of being judged, or fear what other people are going to think, or fear like maybe I'm not going to be successful. And it's never about whether it's fear something is going to work or not. It's more so the fear of you telling yourself that you don't want to be embarrassed. So the question is, what it would be like your life if you weren't fearful of anything? If you just went for something when it's instinctive, like a lion, what does it feel like if you just took that, right? Today, I'm going to tell you exactly how you become that lion. But it's as multiple times we said with anything, it's not about just doing something to learn what you need to do, but it's about doing it to actually do it. And today I'm going to smash your limiting belief one after another and tell you exactly like what are these forces that you don't probably pay attention all the time, but they're there. And they're there, and it starts from, now as I share this, right? It starts from this one, right? It starts from identity. Who are you and who do you say you are all the time, right? The identity is like when you say I'm going to do something, what is it that why is that so hard to actually do it, right? Why is it so hard that you say yourself, oh, I should do something, but I really don't do it because I am the procrastinator. I am I'm an emotional leader. There is all this I am statement, which basically start from, like I said many times before, and like I'm big on that stuff, is that start from you feeling like from your childhood it starts. It's like a matter of not being where you need to be in terms of like it starts from like I don't have the confidence to do that. And again, it's not something. It's bigger than you sometimes, because it's really like if you don't feel like you're gonna be able to, if you don't feel like you're gonna be able to do it, chances are it's gonna be hard to do it. And like I cannot do this and I cannot do that, and then it's like you become this identity, this person, this mom that doesn't have time, this wife that is busy, this busy professional, this person that travels all the time. And this is real at some point because you built it. And it is built from and usually it's something has to do with lack of self-confidence, low self-esteem, and all that stuff that creates a comfort zone which you don't get to break. Not enough often, at least, to actually make that happen. And usually it's like, all of you are from Europe, most of you, which is great because like we have some people from US, but you know what a stick shift car is, right? And it's like you drive stick shift. And when you drive stick shift, there is always a brake on, like you can put your brake on. And what happens when in a car, you put your brake on and you don't release it, you forget it. It's bad for the transmission, it's bad for your engine. And it's always like this, like you keep going, you can still go, but it's like you're stopped. And all the time, like one time you realize and you're like, oh, I was dumb. I just shoot the release. I had the brake on. And when you release it, it's like flying. It's like, woof, it goes, right? And like most people live life that way. Live like limiting themselves, their ability to be able to achieve stuff because it's unconscious. And you say, oh, maybe if I don't do that, I'm not going to be, I don't have a chance to fail. Right? But when you say failure is testing, right? When you say failure is not really failing, but I'm testing something, then you cannot really fail. And so there is no fear to be had, right? And obviously, this takes us to the second thing, right? The second thing is really the stories and limitation, your own limitation that you tell yourself that you do, right? And let me just move this thing around. Well, this is really, okay. The second one is your limiting belief, your stories. Again, procrastination. Like this is kind of like, I'm telling myself that there is something that's not going to work because I'm procrastinating. How many times did you want to do something, then you didn't do it, then you look back 5 years and you say, I want to do it. Now it's too late. Right? And obviously you cannot do something that you cannot gain back the time. Yesterday was like my birthday. I was like, and by the way, guys and girls, like this, like, I don't think I ever had so many wishes like yesterday. And most of you are new. So it's like that means the word to me. I really appreciate it. And like, you cannot get back time. One thing I always say is like, I talk to young people all the time. It's like, what do you think the most thing that you have that I would want? And you say that to girls sometimes and they get like, yeah, I know what you want. And I say, nah, I don't think you know. I want more time. I would like to have your youth, right? And this is usually the big thing because like you cannot go back, but you can say, you always have to think is like, what would be like, because now there is, in that you're going to sound like, I'm not going to say like, oh, those are bullshit, but it's like reals, but it's like, I have a problem. I cannot do it. This I cannot do because, she's pregnant or is pregnant and like, he's busy or, he's sick. I cannot do this. I cannot do that. And it's like, and those things are real now. And you feel like it's too late. And it's like, I mean, what happened if you would have done it 5 years ago? Even 2 years ago, 2 months ago, 1 month, like, it's like, it's never too late until you tell yourself that it's too late. If you don't never do it, you're never going to do it. So it's always time to actually do the work. So there is no age limitation. We said that, like the one thing that is crazy that I keep hearing nowadays is like people coming to the program is like, they told me I can lose weight because I'm 40. It's like, there is a magical switch that goes on. And it's like, I'm 40, I can lose weight. Really? I mean, do you really believe that? Like, it's never too late, but you just need to start, right? That takes me to and this one this one is the next one, and there is some people still getting unmuted. Let me see. Cool. This is the most important one, which I'm going to have you to do an exercise with that, is the environment. This is literally why most people, what the hell can I not make this work? This is why most people at times will not reach the results, their environment. You know, like, you know, I can, like, somebody brings the food that works. I cannot say, no, I'm going to eat it, right? Because it's like they have a gun in your face. They're going to tell you, if you don't eat it, it's going to be a problem. So it's the environment. I said it multiple times. You are the people you surround yourself with all the time. How do you reverse your childhood if you had like some, like in childhood, everybody's like, it's like you either have too much love or you have no love. One or the two. Like there is somebody in between, but it is always those two scenarios. When you have, if you have self-esteem issue, right? Unfortunately, that's the reality. In my case, I was too much love. And I grew up having some sort of initially self-esteem issue, which I fixed. But you must fix it by hanging out the people that are successful. They are successful where you need to be, but they're already there. Most people hang out or are in relationship which are toxic. They shouldn't be. They're not happy, or they're like they are in jobs that they hate. They are in their like, or they do stuff to please other people, right? And this is the environment. And now I'm going to talk about the biggest excuse in human history. It's like, I have no time. I'm going to make you do an exercise now and see it, right? But it's like, when I say I have no time, it's like, the thing is like, there is no barriers. It's like I said, that if you want to, it's not about the time you don't have, it's the chaos you have when you have the time. Like you feel that you don't have time because you're chaotic all the time. And it's like, if you wake up early, if you meditate and you get this shield around you, and it's like all the problems. And even that works for people with kids. I mean, I didn't have a kid. I don't have a kid, but I had a girlfriend in the past that she had like a very small kid. I experienced what it is to be like a daddy for like a few years, for instance, right? And there must be standards still. And it's like, when you have some, like, you wake up early and you know that your kid is going to wake up as well, right? But if the kid is within reasons, like they have, 10 years old, 8 years old, like, you still have your own time, and you're like, yeah, mom is going to talk to you in a second. Like, is this still this one, right? But how is it that everybody says they don't have time, and then we have people that we all have 24 hours, and we have people that produces 10 times as much as better people, the people that find a way to work out even when they shouldn't. And I'm talking about now moms in the past that were in the programs, and they have not two jobs, like two jobs to pay the rent, two jobs because it's performance type of jobs. Like they are directors of some stuff. They have kids, they still work out, they track the macros, they're like better in tracking than I was. So how could they do it if the time is the same? I'm gonna have to do an exercise. You can post it inside the group. This is an exercise you can do if you want. You take a piece of paper and you put it, how you track goals. You track your long-term goals, intermediate goals, and weekly goals. And you start from tomorrow until next week. So 12 o'clock to 12 o'clock. And I'm going to have you put on the other side of the paper all the people you interact with, you meet, all the people. Like, and again, I'm like, somebody's, please mute yourself, ladies. And you're going to put a number, like on all the people you meet, right? And I want to put, in the end of the next week, I want you to put a number on the people that you Skype, email, Messenger, Instagram, the time that you scroll on social media as well, right? And I want you to put a check mark on all these people you meet. Which one of those people have anything to do with your goals? You'll be stuck, like you'll be like stunned from the amount of time that you take, or in my case, what I say, waste, with people that has little to nothing to do with the goals that you have to attain. And I see some of your faces right now. I know it doesn't sound right. And again, if you're doing that, you're not any less of a good person. Like, there is no judgment. But I don't think that you're no longer qualified to say I have no time. The thing everybody that has this problem and then like learn how to make good routines, like the difference between the rocks of the world, like the people that can, do 10 acting and then like lose weight or, performance, like the difference between those and like most people is that they have amazing routines, amazing habits. They have standards, they have barriers, they have everybody scheduled time to talk to them. And again, it's gonna sound crazy into maybe your word, but it's like really about how much do you want something, right? And like, you know that if you want to achieve a result, it takes sacrifice. So this is for sure, from all of the four forces, the big one, the one that is like, you know, right. And as you see, like one goes to another, the identity builds your limiting belief, builds your environment. And the last one builds your vision, or lack of vision in this case, because basically it's like saying lack of vision, because it's like saying, how can I do that? Yes, here. One, you want to achieve something, you need a vision. You need to be able to say, yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen, right? It doesn't matter how. Most people don't practice being successful because they feel like it's not possible. You know, we're going to do another roundtable. We're going to probably do it later down the line. That is about 10% or 20% being happy. If I can guarantee you can be 50% happy, everybody would join the program. Everybody would like, you know, get like everybody, like if I could guarantee it. Like, I mean, if you believe what I'm saying, I guarantee it actually, but like, if you believe me, you would do it. There would be no mental objection. It's like, it's because the problem is that when people, you don't feel like something is going to happen, you don't believe it. And then like, you don't practice it. And many people don't practice being successful. You know, like you want to lose weight. I mean, and they say to themselves, I don't think I can do it. And like, what have you done? I mean, I have this metabolic thing. And I said, okay, but how are you sure? Are you tracking all the calories? No, I'm not doing it. It's like, do you really want it at all? Like, why is it so hard to think that it's going to work? What do you need to do to make sure that something is going to work? So that, by the way, that goes for everything in life. If you want to have, like, if you feel like, you know, like you're not wealthy enough, you're not where you need to be in life, practice being healthy. Like I always wanted, and I don't know, one day maybe, if I do go back I was living in Miami, I always wanted a house in front of the beach in Fort Lauderdale. Like I was going to houses, even though when you cannot afford it. If you want a car, go to dealerships that you cannot afford, right? If you want to be healthy, like don't think about the weight that you have to lose and then like feeling like you're not going to get there. Just practice being healthy. Just go walk without expectation. This takes me to this week, right? Somebody teased it, and like I said, like before the end, I might even do it with you, right? There was this plank thing. You have to practice, do your plank. And I see that every single day, if I did a plank today, I actually tried yesterday. I'm like, I haven't planked for probably a year or two. My time was 1 minute 0.40, something like that. Like, which that means that all of you are doing essentially better. But I didn't practice being successful on a plank. So you need to practice everything that you want to be successful at. And this, of course, now I see your faces like, you know, so yes, I am doing a worse time than you guys. So like you can say that you're strong. That's good, right? So my point is all these forces that you see here are responsible for creating the pyramid of success, or better say, to not create the pyramid of success. And this one is like, if you want to be successful, you have these four forces and you need to, like we're going to do here, kind of like limited this force, right? But this force, the identity, because everybody, like, you know that if you want to be successful, you need to do the daily work, you need the right strategy, and you need the motivation, right? But why is it that most people always ask for motivation first? That is the one thing that you should have the last, because you're asking for motivation when you want to achieve a results, and it's like, okay, how important is really this result for you? I mean, some people don't know, right? So yeah, it's like, how do you, like, the stories are up here, the limiting belief and kind of like the identity, lack of vision is up here, and everybody wants the strategy, which is usually 10%, and the daily work, the hard, boring, repetitive thing, most time you cannot do because your environment sucks. It's hard to do something when it's so difficult, right? So with this being said, how do you see it? Because basically this is, on a nutshell, what you need to hear. I know some of you is going to watch this like, yeah, it's like a little bit, up there. But this is basically what it is. These forces are easy to see when you do this, and easy to do something with when you do decide to do something. So when and if you decide to finally, change your identity, talk to yourself differently, put a solid environment that start from, like I said, do this exercise, build down a plan, post it on the group. I'm going to work out. I'm going to live in building blocks. I'm going to work out. I'm going to schedule everything, including my things that I need to see. That's going to produce different stories. And guess what? Some of you that I see here, most of you that I see here are losing 2 kilos in probably 3 weeks. Some of you. Some others are like getting stronger, right? And guess what? What was the story before you came here? Most of you. I'm 40, I cannot do anything, or I'm 50, I cannot do anything because I am too, like they told me I can't. So where is your story now? That's a fruition of your mind, right? And when you get that, you can finally build a vision. The vision needs to be strong. You need to practice. You need to stop. You change the person you are, and you practice, and you become like essentially different than you were before. Edit now is different than Edit that I met 2 weeks ago. Like huge different. Makey as well. Like all of you here, Cecilia, let's not talk about her. It's like you look different, but you feel different too. It's like all of you are feeling, like Marcel as well. It's like all of you are going to be very different people afterwards. I make you practice within when you're without. Like when you're not successful, you become successful. And then the next step is like, how do I really become this different person to keep these results? Because obviously, we know that even just if you're in the group here, you are doing the challenges, you see in so many different, different results, right? And like you see that more and more, I got you in with this idea of, okay, we're going to fix your metabolism, but I'm keeping you in with this idea of like, oh, some of you is like, oh, you talk so cool how you talk, and it's like, cool, that's great. But it's like, you see how it's more important. Like you need to shift your limiting beliefs, your worldview. So I would like you to all unmute yourself, or like at least whoever wants to talk. Like I said before, if you want to share anything, there is the time. If some of you preferred, I'm gonna have probably a few more minutes, and then if anything, I'm gonna stop this recording and I'm gonna have you re-log in again if you want to say something really personal, which you don't want to be on tape. But if not, unmute yourself. Let me know what you think, because let me know if you have a revelation. Let me know if you have a question. It can be about anything. I feel like, go ahead, Selma, the brave one.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jerry, for bringing this discussion up, because I think this is also a very interesting aspect about or helping us through the process, not just the technical thing, how many calories you should lose, because I think that's the key idea in all the process. What I wanted to share are some of the things or the tips, maybe all in the direction of exactly what you, Jerry, just mentioned, which could maybe help all of us, that I'm practicing right now, and that could possibly help all of us in that regard. First thing, I think you talked about identity. It's exactly this self-image. So it's very important if anybody thinks that you do not deserve to be healthy, that you do not deserve maybe to be or to live a better life that you are actually living, the first thing to change right away is exactly this, to really make sure that you have a good self-image of yourself. And I think this helps throughout the process. The second thing regarding good and bad habits, and also so why we are not always disciplined and why is it so difficult? I think you, Jerry, you presented very good inputs regarding why in our daily life, like the environment. Sometimes I was also thinking about exactly that point, and I realized that in the bad habits, we are actually getting some kind of payoff. And that's why we continue to do the bad habits. And one of the things is that procrastination, for example, or for example, of course, if we are afraid, and this is the idea that we talked about, if we are fear, so why we are not taking any action sometimes because we are free, or we are afraid of the outcome actually,
Right.
or we are afraid of what would other people, for example, look at us, or how they would judge us. This is actually the payoff we are getting from procrastination might be that we would like to protect ourselves from maybe the judgment of other people, and also other idea, also bad food habits. I think when we are insecure, at least for me, I realized recently, or at least I started to be more conscious about the fact that when we are insecure, we do not know what to do. Then, okay, let's go to distraction. Let's go to bed, maybe food habits, just to calm us out.
Yeah.
And what you exactly described, meaning having a given set of goals where we say, okay, these are maybe the 6 months in which you will advance on, your health or on this. Then step by step, or where we are breaking down these goals into weekly goals, this is exactly also what Jerry mentioned, it will help us at least bring some structure and being less insecure about, okay, what should I do right now, because we would know what to do. One last point before also so leaving the space also to other, or the opportunity to other people to talk, is so scheduling the time that is for you. For me, I'm very, very busy, and for me it was impossible to put also, for example, this 1 hour of walking, or for example my workout sessions. But then what I said is that also when I'm building the schedule for my day, I give priority to the meeting I have with X and with Epsilon and with Y. Now I schedule myself first. So I have a meeting with myself during the day, because if we leave it, it's not like the last thing we do when we, after we finish being sucked from the day. No, at the beginning of the day, where we say, okay, where do I schedule this? Possibly during the day. After I realized as well that while doing that, I have really during the day a fun kind of time, because then while doing my workout, I can also listen to music, or I can also, when walking, I can also do other things, listen to podcasts and other stuff, which is, at least this is what I'm trying to implement and what I wanted to share. Maybe this could be also useful for a couple of people.
Yeah. Very good. Thank you for the gold. Like this is actually it's really golden. And what I can follow up, like you just said, most people feel like they have no time because they have no time for themselves. Like they don't feel like the time they have is worth, because it's like the time that they spend with anything else is not rewarded. I wanted to point out, Marcel, I saw the plank. Like this is double points. I was trying not to get distracted, and it's like, oh wow, this is hard. You see, like you need to pay attention to something, and then like pay attention to something else. But I noticed that, I saw that. Yeah, coming back is like you have no time. And again, most people don't want to hear what I just said before. Like you don't want to hear that you spend time with people that you don't like to, like you shouldn't. But I mean, it's like, again, it's not a judgment. It's like you choose to do that. But no longer you can say you have no time, because it's like you choose, right? Versus doing something. But what you said, and this is how many people ask me, can we work out so much? How can you do that? And it's like, I schedule that as much as I would schedule something else, right? You need to treat it like a job. And this is really comes to the same thing. So I really think that everybody that are here should listen to, your advice, and because I also know that you are a busy professional. So you are the perfect example. It's like you need to schedule up stuff, like treat it like anything else. Like the other day, I told you, okay, now we're gonna schedule a walk, right? And you say, yes, I'm gonna do it. It's like the same thing. Like this is also, I saw one time about procrastination, about hesitation, and again, we are fearful of, again, what could happen or what could not happen, and it's usually like, I saw one time like a document of the Vietnam War, and it was like, it's like it was, people were not, soldiers were not taking action because they thought that was going to cost life. When they came back, and it's like, it's like, like when you know that doesn't cost life not to take hesitation, it's easy to take action, because like, it's what wrong can it happen? Like, maybe you're not successful, but you can try again, right? So it's about, and I see a lot of things coming in, and I see, yes, procrastination, don't try, it can fail. Yeah, it's like, it's really a limiting belief that people must must change. When you just tell yourself something different, it will change. Like there is a rule in the program, in the code, and it's like, try at least once without beliefs. Like, try everything at least once. Don't question for once. Try it. If it doesn't work, doesn't work. But let's try it. Anybody else wants to talk? We have 5 minutes left, and then if you want, I can reconnect. Anything else? Anybody else that wants to say something? We're not so many people as much as I thought. So yeah, Edith, go ahead. We have 5 more minutes left. Yeah, you can unmute yourself. You need to unmute yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Now you're okay.
Hi, everyone. Well, I just wanted to share how I started with the program. And I believe it was our first talk. And you said to me, Jeremy, you have to do everything that I tell you to do. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. What if I cannot do what you asked me to do? And then you said, wait a minute, then we adjust, because I'm not going to ask something from you that you cannot do. Then you will not do it. And then you sent me a YouTube video with a HIIT workout that I had to do at home. And I always said to myself, oh, a HIIT workout, it's not for me because I am not a sportive person. But I kind of promised you to do whatever you would tell me to do. So I started and tried it, and I actually like to do it. I feel like I'm reborn after the workout. I cannot keep up with the instructor, but I adjust like she suggests, and I just do it. And it's so wonderful to see that this limiting belief that I had, I'm not sportive, that's identity. So I cannot do it, that's a limiting belief, that you can turn it around just by trying it. By trying something new, just what you said, try everything just once. And I think that's just great. And something else, when I wanted to start the program, my husband was like, okay, should you do that? Do you really think this is for you? And I was like, yes, I want to do it. And he said, you go ahead. But now that I'm in the program and that I'm doing what I need to do, the walking and the exercises and the food change, he notices how I change. He notices that I actually lost some weight. He sees it in my face and my body. He sees and notices that I'm happy with this, with the program and with what I do. So now he really backs me up. In the beginning, he was like, okay, we have to see what this is. And if you like working with Jeremy, you don't know this guy. So what? But now he's like, oh, yes. So by doing something new, by following what you want to do, you can also motivate your environment to support you.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
That's what I wanted to share.
And thank you for that. And also, I noticed, remember when you just put the plank thing, and one of the first I think it was you saying, oh, maybe I shouldn't do it because there's always this, oh, maybe there's the camera. I was like, exactly what it's like, it's not for me, right? And I say, try. Look at you. Like, you probably have better time than me now. It's like, it's just like, this is really what it is. It's like, as people, we live with the emergency brake on all the time, because it's unconscious, right? That's why I keep saying all the time, when they say I want to lose 50 kilo and I'm going to be happy with 20, no, you have to say I'm going to lose 55 kilo. Like, your brain doesn't know the BS you tell yourself. Like, it doesn't know the difference. Like, your brain conditions you to limit your possibility. It's a survival mechanism. It's like the lion is like, if I don't have to hunt, But then look at that. Well, look at how fun life is when you limit yourself. It sucks. Like you could be maybe somewhere and you're not. Like you could be more, let's say, having been more healthy and you're not, right? And it's like there's always like so many things you could have just done, right? And this is what it is. With this being said, I feel like really this it was really a good one. You know, like I like the fact that you guys are sharing so much, and thanks again for keeping this group as good as it is. Like you're giving me an opportunity to help you, which is essentially like all I've been asking. And you know, like there was a long story about it. But right now I feel like it's stronger than ever that it's been. So my opinion is gonna only get better. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna stop this up because you know, and then I'm gonna log in one more time without a recording. If you wanna share something very personal, or if you just wanna come back at least to say hi. I'm gonna still be here for 20 minutes. Thank you so much, ladies. And this was good. And we're gonna see each other on the next roundtable. And with you guys, I'll see you in the next minute. Log back into the link and we'll see each other here.